What's up, everybody? Garrett back here, and let's bring it back. Let's bring it back to the early 2000s in physical media collecting. Things were different back then. Stores were open. They were stocking physical media on the shelves. Every Sunday morning, I'd be ripping apart the newspaper to see what kind of deals were coming on that following Tuesday. And then every Tuesday, I'd go out there. I'd go to Circuit City, Target, Best Buy, Newberry Comics, Movie Stop, all these different places around my area to pick up the newest physical media releases and to try to find some old, maybe used or obscure or exclusive editions at these stores. Now, again, that time was literally the heyday of my physical media fandom. I just loved that time of going out and searching, the thrill of the hunt. And what was cool about it is not only did you get cool new editions, but you also got a lot of store exclusives, which in my opinion now are such a crazy novelty and out of print type physical media release, because a lot of these stores just don't exist anymore. So to have a exclusive for a specific store just is a pretty rare item to have now in your collection. I did a whole video talking about all my physical media exclusives I got from Best Buy when they announced that they weren't doing physical media anymore. But there was one place that did have their own batch of exclusives. Not many, but every once in a while they would. And it was a place that no one really checked out, because you're like, why would I go there for an exclusive? Especially when these exclusives were pretty much rental only. And that is Blockbuster Video. Blockbuster Video did have its own DVD exclusive. So when you rented this thing, you got some different features that maybe you didn't get if you purchased this at the store. Now, I have two that I want to talk about here, two that I think are some of the absolute best, two that I think a lot of physical media collectors are going to be like, oh my God, I didn't know that existed. I need to try to track that down because I love that movie, or I want to have all the different editions of that movie. And that is going to be the first one I'm going to talk about, is going to be Rob Zombie's Halloween. So if we check this out, it's got that Blockbuster exclusive kind of cover art. Right here in the corner, it does say exclusive bonus footage inside the mind of Rob Zombie. Now, again, this is like an interview, and on the back it even says a conversation with Rob Zombie is a special feature. Now, I checked all my different editions. I have a ton of editions of this movie, and I could not find that special feature on any of them. I even looked at the Blu-ray Screen Factory set. Now, I do not have any overseas releases of this movie, so there might be that feature somewhere there that I don't know about. But it kind of makes this edition extra special. It's not a long interview. He kind of talks about progressing as a filmmaker by the time he got to Halloween, things he liked about the movie, things he changed about the movie, and it's just a short little chill interview of him at his house. You probably could find it even on YouTube at this point, but from a physical media standpoint, it seems like this might be the only way to still get that interview. But I just think this is such a cool item to get, because the only way you could really have this in your collection is you had to kind of wait till they started selling off copies of a movie that maybe was just getting old or it wasn't being rented as much. That's what I think. I don't think this was ever for sale as soon as it came out, like on that Tuesday. I don't think. This was something I grabbed later down the road. But yeah, if you remember, there was a lot of editions that had this Blockbuster exclusive on the top. I do think I even have more in my collection, things like maybe The Mist and a couple other movies like that, because I was a big fan of going to Blockbuster when they were doing like the 5 for $25 sales or whatever in a lot of their old movies. So I used to pick up a lot of stuff around that time, and some of them were Blockbuster exclusives. So I do have others in my collection, but these two that I'm going to talk about today, I think are the ones that you guys are going to really kind of get excited over and be like, oh, shoot, you know what? I want to try to hunt that thing down. Best place you can buy this at this point, eBay. I'm not sure how much they go for. I'm not sure how readily available they are. But these are probably not that few and far between. I mean, this was a rental only at Blockbuster. I mean, I don't know how many of these are floating around. But very cool edition if you're a big fan of Rob Zombie. And even if you check this out inside, this disc is different, right? It's got that Blockbuster exclusive. It's got the blue. So this is a pretty cool little addition that I found in my collection, because I've been going through a lot of my old DVDs and stuff in here and rummaging through stuff because of the new podcast, the Anchor Bay Archives podcast I'm doing, where we're going through a lot of old school physical media stuff when it comes to Anchor Bay, talking about these releases, the stories behind these releases. Very, very cool if you're into physical media and physical media history, especially when it comes to horror. Check out the Anchor Bay Archives. We're on Spotify, Apple iTunes, anywhere you can get audio podcasts. You can watch clips of the shows on my YouTube channel, on Dead Pit Radio's YouTube channel, just different cool clips of the long form show. And if you want the long form video version, just become a member of my channel here at Born2beRad, and you do get access to the full video version of the podcast. But yeah, so many different things I'm going through to kind of talk about on the show, and I came across some of this and I was like, listen, we got to talk about this stuff. And the next one I'm going to talk about is going to be Evil Dead. Look at this, a Blockbuster exclusive. And what makes this a Blockbuster exclusive? The art. Look at this artwork. This is the only way. This is how you know this is the Blockbuster exclusive, is this weird artwork here. Now, what's cool about this edition, it's also an Anchor Bay edition. So that is pretty damn cool, is that Anchor Bay actually had a Blockbuster exclusive edition for Evil Dead that came out in the early 2000s. But the difference with this one is that if you look at the disc, you might say, oh my God, I've seen that disc before. And yeah, so later on, after this was released, they did utilize this disc for, I think, the Book of the Dead. So the difference here is the only thing you're really getting if you want this edition, if you want to hunt this down on eBay or something, I think it's pretty expensive, but it's the novelty of it. If you're an Evil Dead collector and fan, or an Anchor Bay collector and fan, you might say, shit, I do want that because it's just such a unique novelty. It's very limited. There's not many out there in good condition, at least coming from a video store. But you're not really getting anything new on this that you don't probably already have if you've been collecting a lot of Evil Dead stuff through the years. But at the time, it was a little bit new when this thing was released. But what's cool about this edition too is if you check this out, and again, I don't know if they're all like this, but this one is. So you get the Blockbuster sticker down there, and if I take this off, and I go through and I take out this, check this out. So inside, I've also got the sleeve from Blockbuster, and it says Evil Dead with bonus features, it says on here. So that's pretty cool to kind of have this. And on the back, it's a little synopsis of the movie. Let me see where if this has like a address or anything on there. It just says Blockbuster Video, Roseville, California. I don't know if that's like the location it was at or not. But yeah, I think that's pretty damn cool. This is definitely a cool addition to kind of have if you're an Anchor Bay collector, physical media historian, when it comes to horror. And that's what I am. I love these unique, different additions when it comes to horror physical media. I just love this stuff. Very rare to me. And I really just like having this thing in the collection because, again, it just shows the sign of the times. The times when I was just head over heels about going out and finding these things, the thrill of the hunt in the wild. And this was one that was very, very hard to come by. So again, it's going to be hard to find this thing if it's something that you guys are into. But I want to just go down memory lane, talk about this kind of different stuff when it comes to the history, horror of physical media. Like I said, check out the podcast if you guys like this kind of stuff. But the two favorites are these Halloween and Evil Dead Blockbuster video exclusives. Very cool novelties to have in the physical media collection. Let me know down below. Have you seen these? Do you have these? Did you know these existed? And if not, tell me other physical media Blockbuster video releases maybe you have in your collection. And maybe there's some out there that I don't even know about. Again, I do know about the Blockbuster exclusive Halloween VHS. Very similar in tone. They were doing things way back when. But again, when it came to DVD, these are the two that I always found to be the holy grails of the Blockbuster exclusive editions. But guys, thank you for checking this out. This is Garrett at Born2beRad. And until next time, stay